On July 4th of 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed, which led to today's modern society of land of the free and home of the brave, with proud history that leads to beginnings of new opportunities out there and a new land. But before all that, the one thing that we do have that is very proud for ourselves is a manufacturer of weaponry, as we all know we're very fond of. For example, many things out here from the beginnings of the early stages of the musket to today's modern society of weapons. So, what can be more American than to talk about the top 10 list of American airsoft guns for Airsoft Master? Let's get into the video. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Airsoft Master, and of course, happy Independence Day out there. So make sure you guys are safe, have yourself a nice beer or soda, and enjoy a burger while you're at it, while you're helping out with some safe fireworks out there. Hopefully. But let's go ahead and get on to our top 10 list. But before we do that, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And again, if you're looking for products like these, just check us out at airsoftmaster.com. But until then, let's move on and see my top 10. Starting off with number 10, which I can't really put this on the table and I can't even find it anymore. But number 10 is the Barrett 50 cap. As one of us would know more often, is that round would go through everything in the real one. In fact, concrete, vehicles, other stuff. But either way, as an airsoft variant, we see many types such as the AEGs, the single spring actions, and even in gas powered situations out there, as it is a very popular sniper rifle that is a really big round. Again, something that we don't see as much often, but there is a plethora out there when it comes to making your own airsoft version loadout as well. And now let's go on with number 9 of a more modern American build, as we all know, is the Chris Vector. The Chris Vector design was basically to make a recoilless SMG build, using a stuff like you would see for pistols, a .45 caliber, more stopping power than the 9mm. As for the airsoft variants we've seen the AEGs, and of course we can't forget is today's modern of the gas blowback Vector by Crytek. So if you are looking for something that's more of the Chris Vector style, you're able to do so with a Crytek version of the gas blowback variant, or even the AEG, where you're able to do some parts and upgrades out there. Believe me, as we've seen in reviews, as I'll put the link down below for the Chris Vector gas blowback version. Coming in at number 8 is what we expected and more fond of, is the M40A3, or even today's modern aspect is the M40A5, which was adopted in the United States Marine Corps Scout Sniper program, where it was the perfect example for the motto, one shot, one kill. And for the airsoft variants we've seen around there, that does make it true as well, as to get those long distance ranges, there are many types such as the Tokyo Marui M40A5, or even the sport line of the ASG M40A3s. And if you're looking to do a sniper build, you can always purchase those as well down on our website. Now, coming in at lucky number 7 is the 9th Armament SR25, also known as the military nomenclature as the M110. Now, the SR25 was built by Eugene Stoner, which makes it a 9th Armament company. And what we know about it is it does a very good job, even to today's present military, where it does have a 7.62 round. Now, for the airsoft variants that we've seen, there are also good replicas such as the G&G 9th Armament SR25, which I did a review in my early stages, and I have to admit is a very good looking rifle with the M-LOK rail segments, as well to that a very good ETU system to help out with making those quick responses. Now, coming in at number 6 is one of we do have on the table is the M14. The M14 was adopted in 1958 by the United States Army and the Marine Corps in 1965 during the time of Vietnam. And surprisingly, this was well known as a battle rifle, as one thing we know about these battle rifles is they are more durable and has a heavy stopping power of 7.62, which during those time frames, it did not have any problems going through a lot of other things. But the last time it was actually used as a service rifle was in Afghanistan and Iraq. And as well to that, we do have is the modernized version out here for the Airsoft variant, such as the Echo 1 or Classic Army, or even SEMA and G&G making replicas out there. Now for the AEG versions, I do have to admit they do a very good job out there with making attention to detail. And for one thing in the Airsoft I do like is they do have the nice racking sound for the replicas. As an AEG, that gives it my perfect brownie points out there. Number 5 is something that we also know for sound as something that we would instead of enjoy, but more like run away from. Today we're going to be talking about is the Remington 870, basically designed in 1951, used in Vietnam War, and even used as of today with modern time as breaching tools. Surprisingly, this does a good job on breaching and sometimes even rioting systems, as we've seen out here. But what do we know about the Airsoft? Well, one of the products that we know for is the Jag Arm Scattergun, such as this one, the Jag Arm Scattergun HDS, where you're able to have that kind of aspect out there with the 3 to 6 round shots. And again, it is a very good way to clear the room when it comes to even in Airsoft having a nice spread of either the 6 rounds or 3 round spread. Now coming in at number 4 as a very popular SMG, well, kind of more of the middleman as we've seen from its classic build, and basically known from Call of Duty games, Medal of Honor, the movies that we've seen as Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers, The Pacific. Yes, I'm talking about the iconic Thompson, a 45 ACP round, but is very known for its famous warfares, as we know from World War II, and at the same time it's infamous when during the time of mobsters using the round drum magazine, also known as the Chicago typewriter. Now for an Airsoft variant, you can get it such as a Wheat Tech doing the gas blowback, or even a Cybergun or SEMA version of the AEG using a version 6 gearbox. So you have your decisions out there if you do want to purchase that, do your own loadout for a World War II build, or heck, even your own mobster build, you're able to do that as well. And now we're down to the last 3. Starting off with one of the third one is a very popular gun. A very easy gearbox to learn off of, and at the same time, what I would consider a perfect setup for a beginner in general. Yep, I'm talking about is the M4 and the M16. As the M16 started off as its early predecessor in Vietnam as the M16A1, by Eugene Stoner, it was a really lightweight in comparison to the M14. Now, surprisingly enough, it's still used as of today in a different variations as the M4, such as having an actual short carbine like the Mark 18 that I do have down here. In fact, there's many M4s out here. I mean, in fact, you can see it all on the wall that I do have. There's an M4 here, an M4 here, there's an M4 there, M4. There are many customizations out there. So if you're looking for an M4, look no further. We have it on our wall, as you see it every day on our YouTube video. Like if you're looking for those, by all means, you have an AEG variant, you have a gas blowback variant. Either way, you have a full plethora of decisions to make for an M4 build. I mean, if you look at our wall, if you come in person, it's mostly 90% M4s. So, number 2, I had to pick this because it is the most iconic, and at a point where we can't even get it because of the fact that, well, pretty pricey build. But at the same time, it is something that is very popular in the Airsoft community when it comes to doing a World War II loadout. I'm talking about is the M1 Garand. In the real one, in 1945, when John Garand modified the M1 rifle, basically doing a caliber of a 30-06. To put it in aspects, a 30-06 it would be protection is with level 4 sappies, and that's already heavy enough as that point of a caliber. But the M1 Garand is a very popular build, and for the Airsoft variants we've seen is from A&K, Matrix, even G&G, where we would see them use, surprisingly, even realistic rounds using a CO2 variant, where you're able to put it in each round with a BB inside and it's CO2 powered with shell ejecting. Surprisingly a cool little build and collection. If you got one of those, please do give me a call. I am very interested with the shell ejecting one for basically the G&G or even the other ones that I've seen all around. But for an AEG, they have the A&Ks and other variants out there. And surprisingly, a very popular loadout that we've seen in the airsoft community. Now, coming in at number 1, a background story is this has dealt with in service multiple wars. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, even all these multiple situations, all the way up to today's modern warfare in aspects where it was used even with the United States Marine Corps Force Recon. Yep, I'm talking about is something I hold dear to my heart, is the 1911. Now, during the time the 1911 had its multiple variants out there, such in World War I, was by John Browning, the Browning High Power. And what we know about it is in 1911, it was tested with 6,000 rounds before, to cool it off when it was scorching hot, dunked in water, put back another rounds, and full service, and it was able to pass, making it today's military service pistol until it was replaced by the Beretta, and then later on being replaced by the Sig Sauer M18s and 17s. But throughout the years, what we know is the fact that it's been known for multiple wars and still be considered, I would even say, a reliable pistol. Now, there are many variations out there as it became more modular, such as, like we've seen here, is the rail segment underneath for light. It got to the point where this was the predecessor to 2011s, or for my airsoft speed boys there, the high kappas. And yes, it is still the predecessor to this day, and sometimes even used in our law enforcement that we see out there as a modern service pistol. There are many out there, and the same thing can be said for the airsoft variants, such as the Tokyo Marui Desert Warrior, the Tokyo Marui Mew, the WeTech Desert Warriors, the WeTech Mews, or even other variations like the World War II's aspects, such as the 1911 by Elite Force, the CO2 variants. But at the same time, I cannot say this as much as the ones I would recommend that I would see as a glorious thing to have on my desk. Yep, I'm going to talk about it. I'm talking about is the G&G Normandy 1911 version, or even my aspect. We cannot forget about is the G&G Iwo Jima version. What, do you think I'm not going to talk about the Marine Corps? Of course I'm going to talk about the Marine Corps, as that is one of the designs where it says war has an uncommon virtue. And for me, that is one of the most good looking pistols out there. I gotta admit, it's very nice. And it comes in a good looking box as well. But when it comes to the 1911, there are many plethoras out there where you have the freedom to choose whatever you like. And speaking about the freedom to choose, that's one reason why I do like about this country. The fact that we can choose whatever we want to use when it comes to airsoft and have fun with the sport, yet at the same time have the freedom and independence to pick your own designs and flaws. But either way, what more American can you be than to say that you live in a place where living of the home of the brave and the land of the free, and at the same time we get to celebrate by using airsoft guns to go play and have fun and have the liberty to do so. But either way, that's my top 10 list, and just the way to conclude it, I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go get myself the barbecue up and ready, and at the same time enjoy fireworks with the family and probably open a beer. But for this episode, my name is Mike. I'll see you guys till next time. And of course, happy Independence Day, guys. Have a good night.
This video is brought to you by Airsoft Master.